Alright, hello everyone, how are you guys doing? Today I am here with another video, and this is going to be coming off of the back end of one of my recent videos. I did an AFK versus efficient maxing comparison, and a lot of you guys really supported that video, and I thank you so much for that. And you guys were suggesting that maybe I go and look at certain skills individually. So this is going to be the first 1 through 99 video that I've done. Hopefully it is good enough for you guys, and hopefully it has a lot of good points in here. If there's anything you guys feel like I should work on for the future with these guides, feel free to let me know, because I plan on doing other skills, and that will just be really helpful all through. So this should be a pretty comprehensive overview of fishing in general. Fishing's a relatively easy skill to start getting into whenever you're playing the game, and this will take you 1 through 99, whether you want to make money doing fishing, do it the efficient way, or just maybe you're a free-to-play noob just trying to make a little bit of money. This should be able to take you through it, and we're just going to go ahead and start with the angler's outfit, which is something that you may want to invest in if you plan on getting 99 fishing. So what is the angler's outfit and why do you want it? The angler's outfit is an XP boosting set that you can obtain within the game that in total allows for you to get 2.5% bonus XP on your way till 99 whenever you're doing the skill of fishing. Now this is really nice considering that you can get it at level 34, and there is a lot of XP between level 34 and 99, so you'll be gaining a lot of bonus XP that you won't really notice, but it'll save you a decent amount of time in the end. Now this does break down individually piece by piece, however I'd recommend you just get the entire set before you go ahead and start your fishing grind if you want to get it in the end. Now you may be wondering, is it worth it for me to get? And it is a pretty long grind. It's about 6.5 hours in total to be able to get the outfit, and we'll go over how to do that here in a second. But if you want to do tick barbarian fishing, and if you don't know what that is, we'll talk about it later, but it's the best way to go about efficient fishing training. So if you do that, you're not going to want to get it because it's not worth the extra 6.5 hours. However, if you end up doing the AFK training methods of fishing, you're going to want to get it because it'll save you more time. However, if you're already wanting to do an AFK fishing method, you might not want to do this mini game because it's really not AFK, but all in all, that's really just up to you. Now, as far as how to obtain it, you obtain it through a mini game called Fishing Trawler. Each individual game is 12 minutes, and basically what you'll have to do will be consisting of using a bucket to be able to bail out water that is inside. You'll want to patch up the holes that you guys can see on screen, and on top of that, you're going to want to go up the ladder every now and then to be able to repair the nets. I'll talk more about this in a second, but that's the overall run through of the mini game. Now, it's really nice because you can't get any duplicates, and there is a 1 in 8 chance of being able to get a piece, so you could imagine how terrible that would be if there actually were duplicates that were possible. Overall, it's about 30 to 32 mini games on average for each individual to be able to get the entire set, and so that's how we came up with the 6.5 hour mark. Now, what you're going to want for the mini game, you do need 34 fishing for the outfit. However, you don't need a fishing level to actually be able to board. The higher the fishing, the better fish you get though, so keep that in mind. As far as your inventory, you're going to want a bucket, as much swamp paste as you can possibly get, and you're going to want to fill up the rest of your inventory with rope because you will be needing that to be able to repair the nets, and so you may as well just fill up the rest of your inventory with it since you have nothing else to use it on. All in all, the method that you're going to want to go about getting here is just going to your minigames teleports and then just teleporting to the fishing trawler. Now, to be able to teleport here, you do need 15 fishing, but I'd assume most of you have it. If not, go ahead and go to Castle Wars and then find your way here, or even to Artie. So once you end up getting there, you're going to want to go ahead and board the boat. Now, you can do this in a solo method, or you can go about it with a team. You can find an individual team if you want. Personally, I just go to the fishing trawler world, and you can find a decent amount of people there. At that point, there's typically enough people to where all you have to do is stand in front of one hole and just constantly click on fill leak, and you'll be using your swamp paste to do that. Now, you will be using a decent amount of swamp paste, but it'll keep your activity up, and it's pretty much the easiest way of going about doing it. If you're doing this in a solo world though, you may have to incorporate all the items that you have here. If you're just filling leaks in a clan world or in a mass world, basically you'll just be using the swamp paste. All in all, the way you're going to want to prioritize this if you're in a solo world and actually have to worry about it, you're going to constantly want to go up the ladder whenever the fishing net is ripped. Once you see that OK sign next to the net go to red, you're going to want to go up the ladder and fix the net because the net is allowing you to catch all the fish. Whenever you do that, go back downstairs, and then your next priority should be filling up holes, and then if you have nothing left to do, you should just be bailing out water. You don't want to bail out the water rather than fixing the holes, since the holes will just bring in more water than you can bail out, and in the end it won't end up going well for you. In total, this should take you about 12 minutes, and it's not that hard of a mini game, it's just more of a grind in the end. Alright, now that we're done with the angler's outfit, time to go with the 1 through 99 routes of pretty much every way you could go about getting it. Now, the EHP and pretty much the efficient way of going about it would be doing Sea Slug and fishing contests from 1 through 26. You're going to want to do Sea Slug first because that allows you to get the base fishing level, and then fishing contests actually has a requirement, so you can do that after. In total, this will take you from 1 through 26, as I said before, and it shouldn't take you too long at all, about 15 minutes in total. Now, next up, if you're wanting to do this efficiently, you're going to want to do trouts and salmon from 20 until 60. You're going to want to be doing this through tick manipulation methods that I'll talk about later with both this trout and salmon, and on top of that, barbarian fishing from 60 to 99. Your pathway is pretty much set. You're just going to be doing the same 3-tick method non-stop from 20 to 99, only really changing over at one set. The reason that we wait a little bit here instead of going to barbarian fishing right away is because barbarian fishing, when you only have the trout unlock, isn't better than fishing trout and salmon, and in total you just end up wasting a lot of time, and it's really not worth it. Now, there is an added benefit with barbarian fishing, and that's the fact that you do get some agility and strength XP that you wouldn't get from other skills, so you will be able to train those while you're here. So it is really a no-time skill for a little bit for your strength and your agility, which is really nice for the beginning of an account. Now, as far as the times, I don't want to run through them too much, but as I said, the quest, 13 minutes in total. The trout and salmon fishing, if you're doing the tick manipulation, which is the efficient way, is 53k an hour, so that comes out to 4.7 hours, and then 60 through 99 fishing, assuming you average out to about 100k XP per hour. You won't start at that, but you'll end up getting better rates at 99. It comes in a total of 130.3 hours, altogether adding up to 135 hours for 1 through 99 fishing, doing it the efficient method. So on to the AFK methods. Basically, I'm going to assume that you want the efficient AFK method. I'll go over some alternatives where you actually make a little bit of money here in a little bit. So 1 through 20, if you're not doing the quest, which I highly recommend you do. If you don't want to do it, anchovies and shrimp is going to be the way to go. Also, for free to play, this is the way to go. So do that from 1 through 20. You can find that in Lumbridge and Draenor. From there, you're going to want to do 20 through 60 with trout and salmon. I know it says 58, forgive me, but you're going to want to do 20 through 60 with trout and salmon, and you'll be AFKing these as well. Now, it doesn't change here. Again, you go to barbarian fishing because it is efficient if you actually pay a decent amount of attention. However, I'll talk about that more as we go. But from 60 to 99, barbarian fishing is still the best way to go if you're AFK. Now, in total, the hours that this will take, it'll be about 45 minutes for 1 through 20 fishing, which is why I recommend you do the quest, but if you don't want to, feel free. The trout and salmon in total will take you 7.6 hours, and the barbarian fishing 213 from 60 to 99. Altogether, this is 221 hours, so quite a lot more than we saw before. All in all, it works out that you end up saving 76 hours if you go about the efficient method. Now, you're going to have to consider here, you're going to have to 3-tick for all 135 hours, so it is a lot of clicking, and if killing your hand isn't worth the 76 hours, you know, maybe you just AFK and watch some Netflix. Purely up to you. So for the free-to-play viewers, you want to take the pretty much efficient or inefficient routes, as I said earlier, anchovies and shrimp from 1 through 20, and then trout and salmon from 20 through 40. From there, if you want to go ahead and make money, rather than being able to train efficiently, if you train efficiently in free-to-play, you're just going to want to do trout and salmon all the way till 99. If you don't want to do that, though, lobsters is a decent alternative from 40 to 50. You can get about 25k XP per hour and make 28k GP. It's not too great, but you know, it's a decent alternative if you want to go about doing that. And then if you want to do swordfish instead, you can go swordfish from 50 through 99. Now that'll be tuna as well mixed in there, and you'll get about 30k XP per hour. It'll be a decent profit at 52k GP per hour. Now, as far as people that want to AFK a little bit more than barbarian fishing, I totally understand. If you aren't aware, barbarian fishing does fill up your inventory rather quickly, so you end up having to drop everything. It is kind of annoying. So if you want something a bit more AFK, here are a few options. You do have monkfish at 62 and up. Now this does require swan song, and that's a decent requirement since you need 100 quest points. In total, you'll make 111k per hour, which isn't that great, but you will be getting 40k fishing XP per hour, and it is pretty chill up there. So is an alternative that you can do. As far as sharks go, you're not going to want to fish regular sharks. It's just not worth it. You make about the same amount of money now as monkfish since sharks have dropped so much, and so now it's not worth it unless you're doing minnows. If you're doing minnows, this really won't be as AFK, so it definitely is an alternative, but maybe not as AFK. You'll get 331k GP per hour and 50k XP, so it is pretty good as an alternative, I would say. And finally, you have dark crabs. Now this is a real AFK method. Like, if you have the Wilderness Elite Diaries, can just, you know, know everything up there and just stay up there for ages. It is locked behind a high requirement, so I'm going to say here it's really not worth doing. If you look at it, 43k XP and 325k GP per hour are the rates that you can expect, and if you get about 60k per hour AFKing barbarian fishing, and you only get 43k XP per hour AFKing dart crabs, in total it's not going to really be efficient for you unless you can make about under a mil per hour, and anyone that has an elite requirement for something like dart crabs can definitely make more than a mil per hour, so it's not going to be worth it for you unless you really want some real AFK fishing. So now moving on into the tick manipulation methods, basically this is going to be the best way that you're going to want to train your account with fishing, and it does really just involve a lot of clicking. It kind of becomes mechanical at a point, and you guys get an idea as far as what's going on as you watch it. Basically what I'm doing is every 3 ticks I am dropping a fish, I am using a swamp tar on an herb, and I am also clicking on the fishing spot again to restart my fishing. All in all, you're able to do this every 3 ticks, and that's why it is really quick to do, because typically if you just catch fish you can do it every 5, and so this speeds it up dramatically. What you do need for this is a pestle and mortar, swamp tar, and then an herb. Now the herb has to be a Marintil, a Taraman, a Harlander, or a Guam. Any of those will work, and what happens is every time you use a swamp tar and the herb, basically there is a tick manipulation that goes on, and it allows for you to constantly be able to catch these fish quicker. Now it is a lot of clicking, and it does become quite a grind if you start to think about it, but if you just let your hand go, sometimes it's not too bad. In total, it does speed up your fishing XP per hour at pretty much anything you do by 66%, so it is really nice to be able to get added XP boost per hour, but it does come at a cost, obviously. One thing I recommend you do is if you have an herb pouch, go ahead and drop off 20 of whatever herb that you're using in there clean, because sometimes if you use an herb on the tar for too long, you'll actually grind it up and then you won't be able to use it. At that point, you'll need another one, and rather than just holding a ton of them in your inventory, you could have them all in an herb pouch, so that way you have more inventory space. It's just something that's kind of nice if you can clean up your inventory space to go ahead and use. All in all, would I recommend going 99 with this efficient route? It is something that's possible. I mean, if you really like to play the game at the same time, go ahead and do it, but personally, even whenever I'm doing stuff like fishing, I'd rather play other accounts than focus hard on one, so for the most part, it's not something I do, but if you want to, it is definitely something that is going to be worth it in the end, since you'll be saving yourself so many hours overall. Alright, so that is all for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully you guys got a lot of information out of it. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. As I said before, if there's anything you guys would like to see in future videos that you think I can improve upon with these guides going forward, make sure to leave them down below in a comment. And on top of that, if you guys just want to see more of my videos as soon as they go live and help support the channel, feel free to hit that sub button. But with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.